Hey everybody, it's Mayor Joe Conrad. I just want to start out by wishing everybody a happy Labor Day. It's a day off down here at City Hall. We pre-recorded this just so we could have a Monday with the Mayor today, and just want to remind everybody to take a minute and remember how our country was built. You know, it was on the backs of men and women building this country, and a lot of labor went into it, and we're happy for all the work that people have put into building this great country, building our city. So again, happy Labor Day. I hope you're enjoying the day. I'm here today with our Public Works Director and City Engineer, Brad Hamilton, and we're going to talk a little bit about the streets in Benson. That's been a hot topic for several months, and Brad's here to help us understand some of the challenges and you know, how we end up deciding which street gets fixed first and what amount of work goes into it. Brad, I know it's a monumental task, and I know that we partner with SEGO, the Southeast Arizona Government Organization, to make those assessments for us. So why don't you go into a little detail about that and what it takes to get from wanting to fix a street to actually fixing a street.
Well, I can tell you streets are very challenging. One huge issue with streets is funding. If you the way that street maintenance has traditionally been paid for is called the Highway User Revenue Fund. It's a state fund. However, the problem with the state fund is it has not been updated for inflation since 1990. So 34 years of inflation has really taken its toll on it. It also has been subject to sweeps when the legislature has had money issues. It also does not, newer vehicles, of course, gas mileage has got way better. That has never been accounted for, so we're seeing much more vehicle miles on our streets compared to what the funding for maintenance is. And all the new alternative energy vehicles, electric vehicles, they don't pay any taxes or funding or towards the funding for street maintenance. So all of that does take its tolls. But I think today we're going to talk about how well, I guess we can talk about some good news. We're going to be doing some more major street maintenance this year. That's funded kind of two ways, one from the general fund and one from a one-time payment into HERF that the state has made. So that is upcoming. But I think we should go over how we actually pick out the streets that we're looking at funding. So if you can see behind us, there's a map. This is a program done by the Southeast Arizona Governments Organization, or SEGO. They've done it for all the roads in the SEGO regions. So the region is Santa Cruz County, Cochise County, Greenlee, and Graham County. So here's Benson's map, and you can see, well, we can see the streets that we've graded. If you I will switch over here and show you some of the information that goes into this. But you can see that we have the route, the ownership, the segment length, the area covered, directions. So we take into account a lot of the issues with the street, the condition, whether it's road surface, potholing, structural distress, surface distress, fixes, transverse crackings, longitude crackings, alligator crackings. So you can see there is quite a bit of data that goes into all of these. It's actually a program that's done by the cameras to evaluate each street. So now we'll go
Brad,
back.
if you can just back up to that second column there where they talk about ownership, and so people understand that all of the streets in Benson aren't necessarily owned and maintained by the city of Benson, correct?
No, correct. There is actually a kind of a gamut of it. If you remember, the major streets through our town, including B10 or 4th Street, is an ADOT facility. Highway 80 is an ADOT facility. Highway 90 is an ADOT facility. I-10 is an ADOT facility. So that's a big portion of the major streets. Then we get into also there's outside of our city limits, but still connecting our city limits, are county roads, like Pomerine after you leave the city limits, like Janella. So there's definitely different ownerships. There are some streets that have never been public. They're private streets or have never been dedicated or brought up to public standards. So yeah, there is a gamut of different type of streets. So ownership is a very important part of it.
Thank you.
So as we go through, like I said, you can see all the data that actually goes into these reports, and then it comes up with mapping. If you see, our green mapping means the street's in really good shape, 100%. And if you look at right here in Watercrest, was a new subdivision that was just overlaid by the developer, and so that shows some really good conditions. If you see, as it goes down into our yellows, they're about 75% condition, down to the 50% when it turns orange, and 25, and all the way close to 0 as it turns to purple. So that gives us an idea of the streets that we need to track. We also look at the amount of traffic data we have to kind of figure out which streets are the most busy, in the worst condition, and the busiest are the ones that probably would be prioritized for funding and repairs. Also, we're looking at working with our contractors to figure out what is the biggest bang for the buck. How can we do as many streets as we can? And that probably means clustering a bunch of the repairs together where they're not spending time moving materials and people and things like that.
So Brad, if just say for example, somebody notices a bad pothole that's creating a safety hazard or something like that, we want to remind everybody there is a way to bring that to the attention, and we ask that people report those things to the Public Works Department. Can you kind of walk us through that piece of it?
If you see a bad pothole, we don't see every street. We don't drive them every day. You're much more likely to see them on a lot of streets than we are. Please call Public Works. You can call the 520-586-2245, and I believe it's number 4 goes to Public Works. Or you can send an email to the city, or you can actually get in on, I believe, on the app and send it to. And what happens with that will actually generate a work order for it to be taken a look at. Now, again, sometimes we get complaints about roadways that are not ours, or other things, alleyways, things like that. Streets are prioritized, so that's where the repairs go. So just to, so everybody understands that.
And if somebody were to call in with a condition that isn't a city-owned street, do we have something in place to direct them to the right place to get that addressed?
Yes, we'd like to let them know that, hey, that actually belongs to the state of Arizona, or a lot of times we pass it on to that entity. We try to work together. I mean, the state, the county, and us, or ADOT are all in the same boat. We definitely try to work together to make the road network work.
Great. So, I know there's a ton of work that goes into that, and as Brad mentioned, we do have money in the budget to get started on some of this. Once those priorities are set, I'm sure we're going to see some crews out there putting down some asphalt.
We're definitely looking forward to it, so it's going to be a lot of fun, and we apologize up front for the interruptions and the construction zone and traffic, but it is a necessary evil. So,
very good. Well, Brad, thanks for joining us. It's pretty informative, and everybody look forward to good things coming this year. And we'll see you next time for Monday with the Mayor.